Welcome to All About Fishing with Big Kev. Today we're going to talk about reels. Stay tuned. Welcome to All About Fishing with Big Kev. Tonight we're going to talk about reels. 3 things reels do, no matter the color, what they look like, their brand, who makes them, whatever. They hold the line, they let the line out, and they bring the line back in. That's all a fishing reel does. If it's a $5 reel or a $500 reel, it holds the line, lets the line out, brings the line back in. A lot of people are overwhelmed when they go to a big box store or sporting goods store and you see aisles and aisles of reels and rods and combos and all kinds of things. So we're going to do a 2-part video. Tonight we're going to explain reels, and then we'll do a part 2 video on rods matched to the reels we talked about tonight and a few tricks about using those. So we're going to start off with the basic reel that every beginning angler should use, and child. It's a perfect reel for a child. And that reel would be a spin cast. Spin cast reels are self-contained. The line is right here inside this, and they're pretty much indestructible. They're very simple to use. They have a push button here to activate the line to go out. The retrieval crank is right here, and then the drag system, which allows you to let line out of a reel in case you get too big of a fish, and then you can reel it in once a fish gets tired. It keeps from your snapping your line being too tight and snaps. So this is what they call a spin cast. Spin casts come in all different sizes. Here's a micro, which is a smaller monofilament line, 2 to 6 pound. Again, this is the Zebco 33. It's a normal size spin cast, 10-pound line. And then you have Zebco's Bullet, which is the Premium Pro Series. This would have more of a metal gears and everything for a lot bigger species of fish and longevity of life of the reel. Again, it's the same principle. Push the button, got the drag and the crank. Now, these reels that I've showed you here are what they call a right-hand reel. So you need to determine, are you going to crank left hand or right hand? Here's a left-hand reel. So the crank's on the left hand, this one's on the right-hand side. So you determine whether you're going to cast with your right hand, reel with your left, or vice versa before you buy a reel. So that's the spin cast. Again, excellent for beginning anglers and children. The second step up is what we call spinning reels. Now, spinning reels are a little more advanced. As you can see, the spool and the line is not covered up by a body. It's open. These are the castability of these is a lot farther. But they do take some use to and they're held this way. So many people buy these and you see them out there fishing and they're cranking backwards and thinking that reel's got to be on top of the rod. The spin cast sits on top of the rod, but the spinning reel sits below the rod. And you hold it like this with the rod on the top and you crank it this way. And how these work is, this is a bail, so you would hold the line in your finger, open the bail, and when you cast, you would release your finger and let the line go out, and then you crank that bell shuts and starts wrapping the line back around the spool. Here's the drag on this reel. The drag on any reel, the spin cast, the drag is right here. So what a drag does is it allows the line to go out when a fish is fighting you, so you don't break your line. And then you reel it in, then it might go out a little more and you reel it in. But this is a spinning reel. It takes a whole different rod. We'll get into that in part 2 of the video. So we've got spin cast for simplicity. The next step up is the spinning. So now the top of the line is what they call a baitcaster. So baitcasters come in a couple different ways. This is what I call the normal baitcaster. This is probably old school baitcaster. This is what Grandma and Grandpa had, Dad had back in the days when they first come out. It would be something like this. Then they come out with what they call a low profile baitcaster. Bass fishing got popular and a lot of people started getting into these. Now, these are a very tricky, very sophisticated reel, and they're not designed for the beginning angler. Once you advance through your reels, these are the ultimate thing to fish with. But they're very expensive and they're very complex. And you have to know how to use it, and I'll explain that in the next video, or maybe even do a video just on the baitcaster, because there's so much involved with the baitcaster. But how it works is you've got a release right here, a trigger. Again, you have your crank, and then your drag is actually this star right here, is your drag. Now, if you're curious about what this little dial is, that's what fine tunes the speed of the spool. And again, I'll get into that in another video. But again, this is a left-hand reel. These you have to buy either left hand or right hand. They cannot be switched. You got to determine which way you want to go with those. Some of these spinning reels, you can remove the handle and pull it out and turn it around and put it in this side and then use it either way. So they're pretty versatile in that way. One thing I want to tell you is when you're looking at buying fishing equipment in a sporting goods store and you're not used to what it is, if you're a new angler, look for the spin cast reel mounted to a pole. It's what it's called a combo. So that pole is automatically tuned for the reel that's mounted to it. It'll be one price. When you pay one price, you get the reel and the rod as one unit. When you get into these you can get in the combo as well. These actually will come in a combo, but most of the time your baitcasters are going to come separate and the pole is separate. So get with an experienced salesman and don't let them talk you into one of these if you've never used one or you're a new angler. So hopefully that'll help you understand a little bit about reels. The spinning reels are a little more advanced. They're a great reel. And then you've got the baitcasters, for catfishing, bass fishing, etc. A little more advanced, a little more not so much user friendly until you really get used to them. So any type of these type spin cast reels are in the $25 to $50 range. Again, this one's over $100. These can go from $40, $50 up to $300 or $400. Again, these can be anywhere in the $30 range by themselves, maybe $45, $50 for a combo. So that's pretty much it for reels. Please subscribe to my videos, like my videos. Again, we'll do a part 2 in the video for rods, and we're going to match these reels up to the right rod. And believe me, there's a right and a wrong rod for some of these reels. So we want to make sure you guys understand that. We're going to talk about rods and how to size them up, their length, what weights they use, etc. So stay tuned for that. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in part 2 video. Thank you.